That's just something to think about. So
Right.
work that out.
I mean, there's a lot of information about that the 3D is better. Becky,
If
How
they're high
about-
risk,
could you come and speak to this for us? I guess what we're asking, do we need to modify this to,
Madam Chair, members of the committee, I'm Becky Riles. I represent Management Services Network, which is the executive director for the Georgia Radiological Society. And the radiologists are the ones who do the mammography and then make a recommendation as to whether an additional screening is required. So, given the fact that any individual who has a mammogram, then the radiologist will make a recommendation to his or her referring physician or the physician who ordered the mammography, and with the recommendation as to whether an additional diagnostic study is needed.
okay, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm trying to make this as good so we don't, is it better to put in there and be specific that it's the new 3D type? Or is,
So, Madam Chair, members of the committee, a 3D mammogram is not available everywhere
I
in
know.
the state.
I know.
And so in some cases, a 2D mammogram is sufficient to show whether or not there are any indicators of concern for the radiologist or the physician who ordered the mammogram. So in either case, there clearly is an opportunity for an additional diagnostic study to be ordered.
Okay, and before you go away, where did you, only question I have is who suggested you put the MRI in there? Because do they not sometime want to, instead of the MRI, is that what they would order next? Or would they order a,
They could actually order a tomosynthesis exam.
the
So
what kind?
tomosynthesis, which would be a 3D. So maybe this answers your question. So under a typical circumstance where an individual receives a mammogram, last year this General Assembly passed legislation that requires any radiologist who sees a concern about dense breast tissue notes that back to the physician so that the physician can consult with the patient about whether any additional tests are needed. And much of that is relative to the individual's risk factors and also the determination of the dense breast tissue that is seen by the radiologist and or the physician. So if maybe the answer to your question is not specifically an MRI, but an additional test as best determined in the recommendation from the radiologist back to the physician, so that the physician, in consultation with the patient, can make the best determination as to which study, if any additional study is needed.
Okay.
Because
That-
go ahead. Because we are dealing with high risk. You know what I mean? The
Right.
possibility of high risk. So
But I guess I thought sometimes they do sonograms instead, and by doing and find it. If Betsy could come up with language, is that okay with you? I'm trying to make it as most inclusive
right.
to help these people as possible. I'm not trying to limit it.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, Madam Chair, and whether we make that change today or whether Betsy wants to get me a substitute to put forth in rules, I'll be glad to handle it there as well if that would give her more time.
I mean, that would probably be better just so we can get the technical language correct. So,
Okay.
kinda on the
So
fly,
pass
but,
it like this, and then
Yeah.
with the understanding that you'll make the change.
I'll work with you, and me and you offer the substitute
Okay.
together in rules. Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, I just want it to be as inclusive, and the doctor gets to order what he really thinks he needs.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay, Representative Hawkins.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. To the author, how did we choose the age 30?
That was just based on the conversations we had with the oncologist that was treating Lacey.
Okay, my wife has had breast cancer, my cousin's had breast cancer, and then another generation. So we've had 3 generations of breast cancer in our family. And the last one, who I believe she was younger than 30,
Yeah.
has been the most difficult My cousin died of it after having recurrence. So this is really personal for me, and I appreciate you bringing this. And maybe in the future, we may need to look at this age 30 and drop it down a little bit.
I think that would
You know?
be wise.
Thank you.
Representative Silcox.
I was just going to ask at the appropriate time if we could just go ahead and add the language, if it's okay with Betsy, just add language there at line 40 and 41, include an annual mammogram and any additional test is recommended by the treating physician.
Any additional diagnostic test?
That's fine, yes.
That makes it more than one test.
Still approved.
Pardon?
It would still be approved.
Well, right, I mean, I'm just saying, I didn't know whether the department had weighed in on what they would cover. All right. Any additional diagnostic tests as ordered by the? Is that okay? That,
Look, I respect the will of the committee and the wisdom.
Betsy, do you think that?
Yeah, I think that gets it. I mean, it leaves a little bit open-ended that what they'll have to cover, but, if that's what the board wants to do.
I'll be glad to take that today, and if we need to work on it as we move through rules on Thursday, I'll be glad to help clean up however y'all want to do that. Y'all have my commitment to do that.
Okay, I think you might get some pushback from the department because that one is definitely open-ended. It could be diagnostic tests for, okay, Becky?
Chair, members of the committee, to be consistent with language that is currently in the statute, it would be appropriate to say that the physician would order the additional diagnostic study. It is considered to be a diagnostic study rather than a test.
So would
And that
order-
could be, that would be consistent with the dense breast language that was passed by this body last
would
legislative
say-
session.
Okay, and that would make it one test, the additional diagnostic study?
Yes, Madam Chair.
I don't know.
And one additional diagnostic study is ordered by the physician.
I know, the hour's late, Madam Chair, and I know we have, other meetings. I want us to get this right here, and I'm committed to getting this right with you. I would be glad if we want to give Betsy some time to get together about what the proper language is. I'll be glad to get with you to offer the rule substitute to try and make sure we get the language absolutely correct
Okay.
in this avenue.
Representative Silcox, are you okay with letting,
I mean, I guess I'm assuming we could get in touch with the benefit people early in the morning,
I'm sure we'll be able
the
to.
state health benefit plan.
I'm
Just to- Okay.
probably a good idea. We don't want the governor to, because
That's right.
them to go to him with exorbitant
All right, we want to make sure we're measured, but that everyone's getting the treatment that
that they
need.
need or the further diagnostic test.
So I withdraw my amendment, make a
Thank you.
motion to pass as is.
Well, wait a minute, we're not ready for that.
Okay.
Representative Hogan beat you to it. Representative Hatchett.
That's my sentiments also to do pass with the
Okay.
appropriate amendment added feature
Okay.
later.
Representative Newton.
Just the only clarification I might offer is that the other studies we're talking about an ultrasound or a 3D mammogram are typically less costly than an MRI of the breast. So I wouldn't think that the department, since that is allowed in this, I don't believe it's going to be a significant fiscal effect just because it allows, rather than the second test being an MRI, if needed, if the mammogram was not adequate, it allows a less costly alternative. So I think hopefully it won't be a problem when you do it in rules. I don't think it would be a significant change.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Representative Henson.
Thank you. I feel like we're going back about 1991 or 92 or 93, and we did the first mammogram bill. And at that point, we had to specify that more than one doctor could be paid, because at that time, there was an attempt to say, okay, insurance companies will only pay one doctor, not realizing there's a radiologist and the gynecologist that were involved. So I just wanted to say we've been dealing with this for a very long
Okay.
time, but yes, it should be whatever diagnostic tests are recommended, the insurance should pay for. And That's just my feeling, and it seems foolish that this many years later, 30 years later, we're still looking at how do we get this test covered instead of that test when we need it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Representative Hogan, we're ready.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to do pass with the author of the bill and Madam Chair and Betsy working together with the proper language for this bill.
Okay, that's, all right, we have a motion and second, several seconds? Right? Okay, got it. Okay, any further discussion on the bill? Okay, hearing none. Is there anybody else in the audience that wants to speak on the bill? Okay, everybody in favor of the passage of House Bill 1125 with the understanding that we will be working on that to get the correct language, to make it where we make sure that the patient can get coverage on the next diagnostic step, but that the doctor is not held to one kind of test, whatever test he thinks best. Say aye. Anyone opposed? No? Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
Okay, next up is House Resolution 1302 by Representative Dempsey. This is a joint study committee that is asking for it to be done with the Senate. That's why we need to pass it today, because joint study committees have to go to the other side, just like a regular bill. Okay?
Ready?
Sure.
Thank you, Madam Chairman and members of the committee. So this is focusing on a challenge that I know we have all talked about over the years in this committee, and that is chronic weight management and type 2 diabetes. Once again, to begin to look at that, the challenge that it is for people living with it and for our state, and just for the life-affecting situation that it is. So 3.1 million people are living with chronic weight management. 50% of those develop diabetes, hypertension, sleep apnea, or gallbladder disease. So once again, to take a look at that, to try to change Georgia's numbers from being very near the bottom to improving and giving people life. Regular standard study committee, 10 members, 3 members from the House, 3 members from the Senate. Each one would be appointed from that group, and each to be the co-chair people, and then also from the House, a licensed physician appointed, and an obesity expert from the Senate. The Commissioner of Community Health and the Commissioner of Public Health are their designee. So that is what it is, and it would be great if we could get together with the Senate to do this at the same time.
Okay, questions from the committee. Representative Henson.
Thank you for bringing this bill forth. I know how long you've been working on this issue. Where do we stand with bariatric surgery at this time? With state health?
You know, as far as the state health benefit plan, it is not in the plan.
It is.
It is not available. We did a pilot study for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
When that study ended, it was not taken up again. There is a bill, actually, that we passed last year. It did not come up in the Senate. It was not called up. So it is over there if we need to go back and sort of take a look at that before the end of session. But we are still working on that conversation.
Just as a follow-up, again, I'm going to go back to the 90s somewhere. We got the head of state health benefit plan to put bariatric surgery into the plan. So at one time, it was there.
That's
and,
right.
you know, this surgery certainly folks are I just assume everything has advanced with regard to that and with regard to the coaching and everything else that folks go through. So anything I can do to help you on that. I'm voting for this one too.
Well, thank you. Well, y'all did pass out of this committee and then on the floor a very good measure that, as I say, is resting in the Senate, and after crossover, we'll see about that as well.
Okay. Chairman,
Just at the appropriate time, I'd like to make a motion.
let me see if there's any other questions from members of the committee. No, now that we've heard from our resident historian. So on 2 bills, I'll give you that as your new title, the resident historian. Okay, we have a do pass in a second. Aaron seconds on the passage of House Resolution 1302, LC 338226, which is a joint subcommittee. So everyone in favor, do we have any more discussion on the bill? So everyone in favor of the passage of this resolution, say aye. Anyone opposed, no? Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, Representative Howard, you're welcome. From your seat, yeah. Oh, you could, we were gonna make it easy for you. Yeah, stay where you are. That's easy. What was it? Did he have the backup camera? Do you have permission for that backup camera?
I don't have the rearview mirror, but thank you, Madam Chair. I thought I wanted to look at this committee from another view.
Oh, okay.
Since I've always been from this vantage point, I'll stay here. But we have a bill working from LC 338348S.
House Bill 1046.
Yeah, HB 1046, correct. And what we're trying to do here, and I'll just give you a quick overview. Most of you know, well, all of you know my disability, and you don't learn about these things until you go through them. And one thing that I ran into immediately after I began driving is that I was unable to go to the pump and pump gas on my own without having someone in the car with me. And so that made me think a little further, and I began to talk to veterans and other folk with disabilities and learn that this is a problem for most folk with disabilities that have to get out of the car with a ramp to get to the gas pump and pump gas. So I began to talk around and found out, talked with Angela Hollins over in the Annie Room, who heads up, she's the lobbyist for the convenience store operators across the state, at least 30% of them. And so I met with them, and I had a unanimous support from that group to say that it was okay to put a sign on the pumps that would put a phone number, and I did bring one, a sign about that size on every pump across the state. And we've talked with the ag department. They've agreed to put these signs on every pump in the state that would have a phone number on the pump. So if I drive up to the pump and I need assistance at the pump to pump my gas, someone to pump my gas, someone from the station would have to come out and give me assistance by pumping my gas. And now this isn't, we've tried to make this as easy, friendly as possible, because if the station has only one attendant and they can't come out, then they have the right to say that there's only one person in the station and we can't come out and serve you. So I would have to either wait for that person to be able to come out, or go to the next station and get gas. So just overview of that. That's the nature of this bill, and it's a friendly bill. And we have Ms. Angela Hollins here today. I don't know if she wants to speak to the bill, but that's the gist of it. And I would ask for this committee's full support, if we can, to make this happen.
Questions for Representative Howard? Okay. Representative Hatchett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Howard, just one question.
Yes.
Just for my curiosity, how do you handle that situation now? What do you just hope somebody else is nearby and they can help you, or you have somebody with you?
Well, different situations.
My wife had never pumped gas since we've been married until this. And that's just something I never demanded of her to do or asked her to do.
Well, fashion models don't usually have to pump gas.
But she does now when she have to.
She's truly a fashion model.
But the other side of that is when I'm by myself, I take a chance and I look around and say, somebody that may look honest, I'll say, well, can you pump my gas for me?
I just wondered. Thank you.
But it's, I think that's a risky thing at times, can be risky.
Well, maybe it's just because I'm from here too, but the one you're holding up, are most people going to be able to read the letters and the phone number on that size?
I thought about that too when I looked at the size of it, but Sprint and a couple other stations across the state have already put them up, and when I drive up to that pump, it's not as small as it looks.
Okay.
Because it's on every pump, not just on a sign away from the pump, but it's right on the pump.
Okay.
Am I correct? Yeah. Right.
Okay. Other questions? Okay. The committee's pleasure? Do I hear a motion? Okay, I have a motion, do pass. Do I have a second? I take it I have a second. Do pass? Okay, any more discussion? Anybody from the audience want to comment on the bill?
Madam Chairman, thank you, members of the committee. I'm Angela Holland. I'm with the Georgia Association of Convenience Stores. We represent about a third of the stores in the state, and we have spent a lot of time working on this bill and worked with Representative Howard last year to pass a resolution, and so we actually had those stickers designed, and they do look a lot larger than they appear here. We're very much in support of our ADA community. Federal language already requires us now, we have at least 2 attendants in the store, to pump gas. The issue is, it says in federal regulation that you can get the attendant's attention by honking. That's what the federal regs say. One of the concerns that we do have, and I've just came to my attention, and have offered some more language to the bill. One of the issues that I do have concern about is opening up our stores to more ADA civil litigation. And so I don't know if that was something that you and Betsy just worked on.
Yeah, I passed it on to Betsy if you want to.
Is it short enough that we can add it as an amendment? It's short enough? Okay, Betsy, are you willing to offer it as a friendly amendment?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, this would be on the second page after line 30. We would add a new subsection C to the end that says, nothing in this code section shall be construed to create a private cause of action.
Okay. Okay. Are you offering that as a
Yes.
motion? Okay. The representative is offering that as a motion. Do I hear a second? Got a second. Is there any discussion on it? Okay. Representative Henson, do you want to discuss that or something else?
No, I just want to bring up another piece of history.
Okay, well, hang on. All right. Then everybody in the favor of the amendment as read by Betsy? Betsy, read it again.
Okay. See a new subsection C that says, nothing in this code section shall be construed to create a private cause of action.
Okay. Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, no. Okay. The amendment passes. Okay. Representative Henson, you had a general question?
Just wanted to mention how helpful the convenience stores have been in working with the health committee on different issues that have come before us and different bills since way back in the 90s.
Okay. Some of us would question that lately, since the ladies took over, but did I say that? Anyway,
Yes.
I don't mean that. I'm just teasing. Representative Barr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To the author, appreciate absolutely and support what we're doing here. My question is the Department of Agriculture, have we reached out to them? Do they have just out of curiosity, how many pumps are we talking about affixing stickers to?
We have reached out to them. I don't know. Angela did. Ms. Holland, she spoke with the ag.
We
with
did
Gary
reach out to
Black.
them, and thank you. We did reach out to them, and I believe the date on this bill was 21, so it would
right.
give them a year and a half to comply. They actually check and put a sticker on every single pump in the state already
Right.
that is stamped or that has a hole punched on it, signifying when it needs to be rechecked. And so the Department of Ag already puts a sticker on every pump in the state. And when they are there, they also verify that the phone number to the store is operational, so that that meets any kind of, codes or liabilities that they would have.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Does anyone from don't see any more questions from the committee. Is there anybody that wants to speak from the audience on the bill that hadn't already spoken?
Thank you, Madam Chair. and
I don't
members-
know whether it's safe to let you up or not.
It's safe. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I just want to echo Representative Wayne Howard's statements about individuals living with disabilities. We all know my husband's situation. And so I do believe that this legislation will be great for Georgians that are living with disabilities, Georgians that are utilizing the services of the Shepherd Center, because that's what the Shepherd Center is working to ensure that families, individuals that are inpatients, that are they train them to become independent. And I'm looking forward to the day that my husband can return to independency and I not have to pump his gas all the time. So I think this is a great measure and a great a move for the state of Georgia. State of Georgia being a #1 state to do business, this will make us also a #1 state to address the issues for individuals living with disabilities. So thank you, and I encourage you all to support this measure.
All right. Thank you. And the lobbyists that don't know, I'm teasing Representative Bentley because she and Representative Abel Mabel put on a show for us today and they get the quote of the week for sure. Maybe the quote of the session with their conversations between the two of them at the end of today on an issue. Representative Hutchinson, that's it. Okay, you get the last word.
I had a question for Representative Bentley.
Oh no, here we
Can
go.
you tell us how this is going to affect the funeral home industry?
Okay.
I have my people to get with your people. We'll discuss it.
Okay, all right. Do I have a motion on the substitute to House Bill 1046 LC 338348S as amended? Do you have a motion? Okay, I got a motion and a second. I got a motion and a second. Okay, everyone in favor of the passage of the substitute to House Bill 1046 as amended, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? No. I've got the ayes have it. All right, and we are adjourned.